video. Today we are going to be doing some book tapping, but we're also going to be explaining the plot and the story of the manga that I'm going to be tapping on, so you guys can kind of get a clue of what the manga is going to be about if you want to read it or watch the anime if it's an anime on it. I do have a lot more manga, so if you guys want to see another video which is a completely different manga and just maybe, can broaden your collection or see what I've got and see if anything that you would like, I can for sure pull my other manga out and show you guys. These was just what was on top, so it was easy to grab for me. Another thing, I have a Patreon, I have a Twitter, so go look at those if you want to look at those. If you want videos on the weekends, that's where you'll see my Patreon, and you can get all the past videos and all the future videos that I do on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, little life update. It did snow in Texas quite a bit. We got like 4 inches, which is new to Texas if you didn't know. So getting 4 inches was kind of crazy, and it was kind of cool to see just enough snow to cover my ankle. So it was fun to walk in. I wouldn't want to live with it all the time, but it was cool to have it, once in a blue moon. So that was cool. But yeah, let's hop right into the book tapping. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. All right. The first manga we have is Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei, or better known as Jobless Reincarnation in English. This book is it's about basically a no-life 40-year-old guy who dies and gets reincarnated into a fantasy world. The cool thing about this one is, that's like the gist of it, but the cool thing about this one is that you get to basically see him start off as a baby. It goes from his life, from him literally being in his mother's womb to him being a full-grown adult by the end of the manga, or the light novel, I guess. It is a light novel. It does have full words. It's like a book, just in Japanese. It's inside the Japanese novel. Very good read. Very good anime. But yeah, it's about a guy who dies, gets reincarnated into a fantasy world, and he's actually some really strong magician, and he's really good at using magic. If you love fantasy, I definitely recommend it. If you love the reincarnation aspect of anime or manga, I recommend it as well. It is a little weird at first, but you gotta kind of get used to it. But it's a very good read. Very, very good read, actually. difference between someone in a wheelchair and someone who's not in a wheelchair. But the main focus is like their job is like the key. They both work the same job, and they work for the same company, or I guess they work for like not the same company, but they work for like the same. They work on like the same jobs, and their job is to like come up with blueprints for like whatever house or restaurant or whatever buildings that the people want to be built. But he wants to make them for people who have wheelchair accessibility, and she wants them to be more of like, you know, more non-wheelchair availability. So it's about the struggles of like trying to find like a good balance of, you know, having good wheelchair accessibility and seeing their side of things while also seeing the people who don't have disabilities. It's cute because it goes over like harder aspects of life. Like everything and everyone has their own, you know, struggles that they're going through. And they have like their own, like you can even, it wouldn't seem like it'd be a big problem, but it kind of goes into like real world problems of how it would affect other people with that disability and like being, you know, trying to date someone with a disability like that, even though you love them. And I love deep stuff like that. That's why the next couple mangas will kind of go into that. And you'll kind of see like a trend of what I like. Loafer. This one is a manga that I fell in love with almost instantly. It's basically about a girl who thinks she's not so average and thinks that she's ugly and kind of has, you know, her own issues of, what's it called? Confidence issues, I guess. You know, she kind of brings herself down. It's about a popular boy, loved by everyone, has a lot of friends. And it's a romance about them becoming friends and being into each other. It's a very cliche, you know, type of romance. But something about this one just kind of, I wouldn't say hits home, but it just kind of, you know, makes you feel good. It's very bubbly, very cute, and the main character's just adorable. She has a personality like no other, and in books that I've read, and I kind of like it. It's, like I said, it's very cliche. It's very, you know, mediocre girl dates, you know, very handsome boy, or girl with self-confidence issues dates a very, you know, out of her league boy. Very cliche trope in anime and a lot of manga. But if you're looking for a romance and you're looking for very well, you know, drawn out characters, I would for sure read this one. It has just like any, you know, drama or romance anime anime, it has, every character goes through their own struggle, no matter if they're popular or not. They kind of have their own issues, and so that's a very cliche trope in a school anime, especially one with popular kids. Popular kids. Speaking of her, popular kid, That is Skip, and Loafer. The next manga that I'm about to pick up is probably one of my favorite mangas, at least if not one of the top 5. That is Blue period B L U E P E R I O D. Blue period. Now, this manga, very special place in my heart. So this one's about this main character. Forgot his name. I know it's a Y, but I want to say Yugi, but I know it's not Yugi for some reason. Basically, Yatoro. I think it's Yatoro. Okay, sorry about that. Basically, it's about this kid who discovers that he wants to start painting, but he's never painted before. He just started in high school, but he thinks it's too late to start painting, basically. But as he practices it more, he realizes that he loves it more and more as he does it more. But it's also about overcoming hardships, even doing the things that you love. It's about, basically, he goes through trials and tribulations of painting that he never thought that he would go through. Like, he goes through, just so much agony doing what he loves, but he realized that no matter what you do, you're gonna have hardships. You're gonna hate it at some point. You're gonna want to quit, but if you really love it, you're gonna stick through it and you're gonna overcome it. And that's what love basically means to him. And it's about him basically having all those, worries and anxieties and, going through agony moments in his, painting career. And it's about him having to overcome it. And that's why I love the manga so much, because it takes not just a very big concept in the world nowadays, it puts it into something, just like painting. Like even like people, who do things that don't seem that significant, to other people, but to people that who are artists, they struggle just as much as other people who work 9 to 5s or who work office jobs, who are in the police academy, whatever it may be. That it's not just about, stressful jobs, quote unquote, that are stressful. It's about that everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what job you have, no matter what you do in life, you are going to struggle and you are going to have to overcome. And it's up to the person to either, are you going to back down, or are you going to overcome this and do it because you love it? And that's a real big reason why I love this manga a lot, because it portrays that so well. And so it definitely does that well. And the characters are really well written, and they're very well written for today's society. So if you're looking for a really good read, I highly recommend this one. It's not finished yet, but it is pretty far into the book. I have not caught up. I want to wait till it's finished, but I do have all that is out right now. F-I-O-D. Blue period, blue period, blue period, blue period. Next up we have another one of my favorites, Fire Punch. Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch. Well, the premise is simple. It's basically about the main character, Acne. The main character here, Acne. And they live in a post-apocalyptic world. Him and his orphan sister. And basically, they're kind of like, they call them blessed children, quote unquote, and they're blessed with like abilities. And there's other blessed people in the world, but they live in a small town, and their town gets basically overran by these people, and one of the guys has the ability to set things on fire. And they basically set fire to their hometown, and Acne gets caught on fire. Well, Acne has the ability to regenerate, and he has the ability to regenerate fast. So he basically gets caught on fire, but doesn't die. He's a constant walking, living flame, and he is constantly set on fire and killed, but basically comes back to life every time. Which his sister doesn't have that ability. She ends up dying in the fire, and the whole book is about him getting revenge on who killed his sister. It is pretty good. I like it a lot, and like I said, it's a very simple premise. It's a premise of revenge. It's a shonen manga. It's pretty good. It's called Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch. F-I-R-E-P-U-N-C-H. Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch. It's by Tatsuki Fujimoto. If you know Chainsaw Man, and if you like Chainsaw Man, you'll like this one. If you like Goodbye Eri, you'll like this one. That is Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Fire Punch. Next we have Rurouni Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin. R-U-N-O-U-N-I-K-E-N-S-H-I-N. Rurouni Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin. An old but gold manga. An old but gold manga. This manga is about set in the Edo period, and it's about basically a wandering Rurouni who goes by the name Kenshin, but he has a previous life basically where he was a killing machine and he was the best at it. He killed thousands, not of hundreds of thousands of cops to basically sanctify the era that he was living in and overthrow the government. It's about him wandering as a Rurouni and coming upon a certain village and a certain dojo where he meets a certain lady, and it's about his adventure of protecting the people that he cares about and his new friends along the way. Like I said, it's a very old but gold. The trope is very simple. You know, main character protects friends and overcomes tribulations with the power of friendship, just like Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, anything you can think of. And like I said, it's old but gold. The manga's super good, the anime's super good, and the characters written are really cool. But yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin. But sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Sorry for the cut. The next manga that I have is not, I mean, I love the manga, but the anime kind of just took everyone by a storm, and that's A Silent Voice. A-S-I-L-E-N-T-V-O-I-C-E. A Silent Voice, A Silent Voice, A Silent Voice. This is another manga, or another anime and manga that touch heavily on a real world subject and kind of, shows like real world views of like what depression looks like and what being an outcast looks like and what being, a shut-in looks like, type of stuff. It's about the main character. The main character, when he was younger, he used to bully a girl who was deaf. He bullied her because she was deaf. And a couple years later, he starts getting bullied for being a bully. Everyone that bullied the girl pins the blame on him, and they start to bully him so they can, make themselves look better. And all throughout middle school and up until high school, he just gets bullied by these people consistently. Well, it turns out that he goes to the same high school as the girl that he bullied, and it's about them becoming friends again and him learning to overcome his past and what he did in the past and trying to make amends for what he does in the future. And I honestly think, as someone who goes to church a lot and whatnot, you're supposed to forgive everyone. So it really, kind of tingles that spot for me of, forgiveness is a thing. Not everyone should be looked at for their past, but instead what they're doing now or their future and how they've changed. So I like it a lot. It deals with depression heavily, and it kind of deals with, how people view people and how people can change to view people. I think it's a very good, I would recommend go watching the movie if you haven't seen it. Amazing movie. A Silent Voice. A-S-I-L-E-N-T-V-O-I-C-E. A Silent Voice, A Silent Voice, A Silent Voice, A Silent Voice. The next, last but not least, manga that we have is, I've said it many times, probably my favorite, if not at least the top 3 or top 2 manga, is Fruits Baskets. Fruits Basket. This manga is about a girl named Toru Honda who finds out the secret of the zodiac signs. And when they touch a female, they're all male. Or not all male, but when they touch people out of their zodiac sign, or out of their zodiac family, they get turned into whatever zodiac animal they are. So, I'm pretty sure it's, if they touch the opposite sex of their sex, then they turn into their zodiac sign. So if men touch women, and if women touch men, then they turn into the animal. And it's about the main girl losing her mother, and she has to live with the people who are part of the zodiac family. And her living with all males, It's very good. The main character is probably one of my favorite girl main characters to ever be written. She's innocent, sweet, and just downright the most darndest, cutest character ever. I love this manga with a passion. The characters written, the two main male characters that are a part of Toru's life, Toru's, just her life in general, how she overcomes, you know, a new challenge in life, and yeah, very good manga. I would definitely recommend, and definitely recommend it. As you can tell, I bought the collector's edition. I love this manga, and I always will. Fruits, Fruits, Fruits Basket, Basket. That is all the manga that I had lined up for you guys today. I hope you guys have a good night. Stay warm out there if it's cold, and stay cold if it's warm. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys get a good night rest. Remember to stay humble, stay kind, and be blessed. Good night, good night, good night, good night. And I'll see you guys in the next one.